2021 was a pretty mixed year for me, but it was great for content overall. In fact, I got so much elevator content, it's actually unbelievable. And I got to visit many places as well. So, with that being said, I think it's time to count down the top 6, not 5, best elevators of 2021. Now, how this list is going to work is that if I have written it in a previous year, like 2020 or 2019, it's not being included in this list. It has to be written originally in 2021. So with that being said, let's count down the top 6 best elevators of 2021. Number 6 was included for bias reasons, but I just couldn't leave it out of this list and just do a normal top 5. I had to do a top 6 just for this special elevator. I mean, look at it. This is probably one of the nicest Montgomery vectors I've ever ridden. The quality of this thing is super nice. Very shiny. The designs are very nice. The fixtures are in very good shape. Oh, and the motor. Who does not love that Monty motor quality? But this is why I included a 6 selection instead of 5. But anyway, let's go into the other 5. Ah yes, Gillette Motel. I only got to film this elevator without any knowledge of a second elevator being there. But who knows, I'll probably be back for the second elevator. But this elevator right here, this is how you take care of an old elevator. I mean, kudos to the people here who take proper care of the elevator. I mean, this thing is in pretty much pristine condition. The fixtures are in great shape, the cab looks nice, and the motor's pretty good too. I mean, it's not as epic as LeConte, but I definitely prefer the quality of this cab compared to LeConte's. And believe it or not, the elevator got a cab redesign a few months later after I filmed this, as noted by another YouTuber. And by the looks of the renovations they did, and don't worry, they kept the fixtures, they did an amazing job. Hats off to these people because they know how to take care of a good elevator. And hopefully it stays like this. Oh yeah, who could forget 70 Woodfin Place? This place is iconic. And this is the lesser known iconic elevator of the building. While everyone focuses on the 1929 gated Otis Bakelite black button, this one's often neglected. But I decided to give this thing some limelight, like a couple of other YouTubers. However, in terms of quality, it's kind of horrible. Like, one of the buttons is missing, the panel's vandalized, so is the indicator. But besides all of that, this thing runs amazingly. This thing has a super satisfying door operator. It runs much better than several 60s or 70s Otises I've filmed. And it's just amazing how the ride quality has stood the test of time. Sure, the fixtures are not in the greatest shape, but even though this is one of the more underrated elevators of this building, it's definitely pretty good. If you're ever in Asheville, check out this amazing elevator. It's worth your time. If you know a little fact about me, I fall in love with Westbrook elevators a lot. Sure, it's a third-party company with your typical third-party fixtures, but they know how to make some quality elevators, especially their tractions. So, when I finally got to ride this 1946 Westbrook, well, I was pretty excited. Compare that to the 1962 or 1963 one, which is my all-time favorite Westbrook, which is in the same building, by the way. This elevator has a lot more interesting stuff going for it, including unique designs and different fixtures. The main one has paint fixtures, but this one has C.J. Anderson, which is not something I see that much. So I was pretty glad to find this. The motor was pretty good too, especially for one of the traction models. It's not as epic as the main one, but it definitely offers a lot more character than the main one. Now, unfortunately, is not as easy to ride as compared to the first one, because this takes you down into a very weird area which you might potentially get busted. Thankfully that didn't happen to me, but this is definitely one of the more riskier elevators I've ridden. Oh, and speaking of risky finds, I would love to disclose the location of this 1940 Otis Bakelite Traction. Unfortunately, there's a problem which I'll mention at the end of this. So, you're probably wondering, wow, this is a very nice elevator. This cab design is amazing. The buttons are in great shape. It runs fantastically. So, why is this elevator not #1 instead of what's upcoming? Considering it is a little bit better than what I am about to mention. Well, I'll show you this. You guys will have to wait until my birthday special in order to find out more about this elevator. I can't really spoil too much because this is a special surprise. But hey, you get to see what it is. Before we mention #1, I have to give out a few honorable mentions to some elevators. What the hell is this? Well guys, I can officially say that Schindler Smarts are some of my favorite international elevators. This is freaking cool. Too bad it was just a simple 2-story traction, which seems kind of pointless, but I am glad they installed it even though it is rather pointless and they could have just basically gotten another elevator that wasn't this. But hey, I can't really complain too much. It's a Schindler Smart. What more do I have to say? I would love to spoil more about this, but I'm also saving this for a later date. But these are some of the best Thyssenkrupps I've ever ridden. Too bad their quality isn't that good nowadays. Oh my god! Yes, a surprising Montgomery Vector. What more did I have to say? It's also scenic and runs pretty good, but the fixture quality could be better. Also, the replacements are kind of whatever. You know, for 4 floors, this Otis Black Bun is super fun to ride and super fast feeling. Oh, yikes. If only the doors were better though. Now it's time to find out the #1 best elevator of this year. What is it? I mean, what was going to top this? Sure, the other Bakelite Blackmine we just saw is much better, but that's in a very sketchy place with a very paranoid guy. So, this is obviously the best bet out of both of them. Sure, the cab isn't really the most interesting looking, but look at these fixtures. They are in pretty good shape, even though some of it has kind of aged. I mean, it's from the 20s. What else do you expect? This thing runs great. Sure, it might be a little bit noisy, but honestly, I can pass that up. What's cool is also an automatic traction elevator with an automatic gate. Sure, the gate quality isn't great. I mean, go back down to 1. The gate's a little violent. But, I mean, nothing was going to top 70 Woodfin Place's 1929 Otis Bakelite Black Button. I mean, nothing. It's iconic for a reason, and I'm glad I got to ride this year, as it is the best elevator of 2021. And that is the end of the top 6 best elevators of 2021. Thank you guys for watching, and let's see what 2022 brings us this year. As always, I'll see you in the next video.